I think it's the moment where you tell us what happened to you.
Basically, a brand stole my photos, fed them into an AI engine, and are now using them on their website.
Gaëtan is a fashion photographer and producer based in Spain that, after years of hard work spent building credibility and a faithful client base, has now to face an issue that's plaguing the whole photography community: a brand using AI to steal his pictures. Together in this interview, we discuss ethics and other problematic topics in fashion. This is Vittoria. I'm an Italian photographer and videomaker, and in my 10 years in the fashion industry, I've seen many things that should definitely change. This is House of Fuss, where we peek behind the scenes to complain about the issues of the fashion world.
Here I am, just trying to be myself. It's a crazy world, looking to find my place, and all they do is la 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 la.
This here is my very unhelpful assistant. Please don't catch fire. Okay, so hello Gaëtan. Thank you so much for being
Hello,
here.
how are you doing?
I'm doing fine. I am slightly worried because, as you know, this is my very first interview and I have no idea what I'm doing. So hopefully this goes well.
Yeah,
But
it's nice to have me because I have so much experience in interviews. So it's my first time as well. So like we'll make it work.
So great. We're both guinea pigs in this situation. Also, like my phone is attached to the tripod with washi tape. This is how professional we are here. So before diving into our main topic, which is obviously AI, I wanted to provide a little bit of context, I believe, about the world that we are working in currently, so the fashion world, as we both started quite a few years ago now. I feel like lately the industry has changed quite a bit. And as we were talking in the past weeks, especially probably in the last year, it has really, really changed a lot, to the point where it feels like it's becoming a little bit unpredictable. So I believe that we could start like this with this. And I wanted to ask you, like, how do you feel about this? Do you feel like the industry has changed? If yes, how?
Well, I think first it would be worth mentioning that we've had a similar past. You and I, we work on the same things, and we more or less started at the same time. At least we did the same photography program. Me in 2021, and you a year after, I think. So like we are at least for me born after COVID when it comes to photography, right? Because I think the industry changed a lot already during COVID, and it kept changing years and years after that, right? But I feel like before COVID, when, for example, a brand would create a campaign, they would usually have their own art director, they would have their own producer, or maybe they would work with a production company. And they would, for example, let's say if a brand is based in the US and wants to shoot a summer campaign in Europe, they would fly their whole team on set, and the photographer would be hired just to take the photos. Very costly campaigns, which involves a lot of people, and with a photographer that had to focus on his photography and on the editing. And this changed a bit during COVID because with restrictions due to COVID, brands started to trust photographers to organize campaigns by themselves, meaning to produce as well, sometimes to art direct as well. Obviously, it doesn't involve it's not the same job, when you have to organize everything to deal with a bunch of people. It takes much more time for each project as well. And normally you're supposed to be paid in consequence as well to that, even if like maybe we'll come to that later. Right now it's it's becoming a little different, a little bit more difficult. But yeah, so that's to set a bit the context. So today I'm in a place where I have actually a lot of brands that want to work with me and everything, but it's also getting more difficult to book well-paid jobs, let's say. So right now it's a little bit all over the place, especially considering that since I produce and I usually direct as well, I can't just book like 2 clients per week. It's not doable. It's way too much work. I think the problem that we have right now and that has increased in the past months is that many brands either devaluate our work, right? They don't realize everything that it involves. They think again that we are just photographers taking photos, where like it takes much more than that. And also there is the economical situation, right? That is affecting everyone.
When you started talking about the fact that like productions are not as big anymore and many photographers were starting to be trusted by brands to do small campaigns, I thought maybe the problem is that we are going back basically to those big campaigns with big photographers, and that there is no more trust in small professionals. But I don't know if it's that or if it's really the fact that there is no money anymore in this industry.
For a middle size to like big brands that are not like on top of the industry, I think they have less and less budget. And me, what I like, the situation I find myself in is brands that are asking more and more of me in terms of work. Like they want you to do everything. They want you to produce everything, to find the models, to deal with everything. Like soon, like I wouldn't be surprised if they ask me to do the makeup as well soon.
That would be great.
Just like they don't want to pay more than one of the people. Like I find myself working on set without budget for having an assistant and barely being able to, sorry, like I could.
No. I was just saying that I actually had to do makeup on sets more than once, actually.
Well, you're probably better than me at that.
No, I'm just so bad at doing that on other people's faces. No, after a while, I just told to my models, just come with some makeup on, and that's it. Because they are so much better than me at doing that. So I'm not going to touch people's faces anymore.
And so they ask more and more things for a smaller and smaller budget. So like we said before, there is a devaluation of, and maybe a lack of understanding of everything that it implies. But I think the reality is as well that, everything is so costly for a brand these days. Especially like this year, like I've had conversation with brands about, for example, border tax increasing. Because maybe it's was to mention as well that we do work for international clients, usually, sometimes locals as well, of course, but so usually brands sends their products to us and everything. There is a cost involved already in that, right? Also, their production cost is increasing as well with the price of fuel and electricity these days, even more relevant with everything that's happened in the last few weeks. So I think there is a reality there, and when you have to make some savings on money for brand, like the easiest thing to cut is the marketing budget, so the photography campaign and everything. And I think it's gonna lead to our next topic as well. I think that like we're gonna talk about AI after, and I think that it's even it arrives at a convenient time for brands, but not for us, basically.
Actually, like since you mentioned it, that it comes at a very convenient time, it does come in a very convenient time. But I'm like, is it actually a coincidence? I'm going a little bit conspiracy theorist here.
Oh, conspiracy theory, a coincidence, right?
Is it, or is it just that everyone is pushing towards a more like a society that just exploits people in every single field, not just photography and not just fashion and not just marketing? And so AI just comes hand in hand with this. Not that it was done specifically to worsen the problem, but they just come hand in hand because it's just where the world is going right now.
I mean, I don't think anybody could plan what's happening these days, even if the inflation has been going on for a couple of years right now. But I'm surprised as well to see how good it can be. I do not. I just want to make it clear that I do not approve of AI use in in everything art related.
I would not have many people here on this platform that are actually pro AI.
Right.
Even though I will probably want to have somebody who has a different point of view to see how they justify it, but this is it's another episode. So yeah, go on, please.
Like, to be honest, I'm not against the help of AI in certain fields and area, but when it comes to art, that just kills the creative process and the essence of art in itself, I believe, But yeah, I'm surprised to see how it improved even in the last few months, and even for us that are like professional of imagery, right? Like
Yeah.
sometimes it is difficult to tell.
It is absolutely difficult. Sometimes I'm just like, because somebody told me that that was AI, otherwise I would not recognize it at all.
Yeah, especially when you don't really pay much attention, just scrolling through some stuff. Yeah, for brands who want to already cut on budget, it's just the easy way, even if I think that it's not the correct choice.
Speaking about how difficult it is right now to recognize it, I felt for a long time that for us film photographers, it was actually an easier spot. Like it used to be much easier to recognize when it was film photography, actual film photography, versus AI. And right now, I feel that it has caught up with that as well. And I think that what happened to you is the perfect demonstration of that.
So are we coming to what happened to me, or?
I think so. Yes, I think it's the moment where you tell us what happened to you.
So a few weeks back, like I usually do, I pitch to brands, projects, and show parts of my work. And there is this specific brand that I don't think I'm gonna mention the name right now, but maybe I will separately on my account at some point, because it's still, well, there are things going on basically. And so I found a few days after I sent them my pitch that they used some photos, AI made photos on their website that looked almost identical to some photos of mine that I did for 2 other brands this past year. And when I say identical, I mean same. I think that you're gonna show them, right? Like
Yes,
the pictures.
I'm going to show them in detail.
In detail, yeah.
Yes.
Like same background, same locations, like everything is looking really identical, which is like surprising. These were photos taken on film as well. That's why you were saying that it's becoming more and more difficult to recognize, because now people can feed into their AI engine some film photos and ask AI to try to replicate those. Okay. And so it's not only that. So the models that worked with me on these 2 projects, they are like clearly recognizable. That's also how you see that it's been AI generated, because it's a little bit different. Like you can notice if you focus on the model that it's an AI model, but the 2 persons in question are clearly recognizable. And so yeah, basically a brand stole my photos, fed them into an AI engine, and are now using them on their website and are still using them. It's been 2 weeks that the incident happened 2 weeks ago. And they did not answer to my several emails that I sent them, trying at first to resolve this in a nice way, even if I'm pretty pissed off, because I think it makes it even worse that I actually pitched to them, show them my work, and that like I noticed that a few days later. So they clearly, like at that moment, took my work to.
So this is how they found it, basically.
It can't be a coincidence. I don't think so. It can be a coincidence. After I don't know how these kind of things work. If like maybe they have some kind of plugin on their computer that every time they receive imagery, their engine is using it, or if they did it, like on purpose to take my photo and and rechange them. I have no idea how these kind of things work. I'm really not the AI specialist. But like now I followed up a little bit more harshly, let's say, like not to kind of threaten them a little bit. Unfortunately, I don't think there is any kind of laws, and that's what we wanted to talk about as well.
I'm definitely going to talk
Laws
about this
in
as well.
place to prevent these kind of things right now. But I did threaten them to like mention their name to other photographers, models, the model agencies of these two models that worked with me on the projects, and hoping that people will react. And also, one other thing is that they use a lot of AI pictures on their website, and I think I did recognize the work of other photographers and also other models.
Absolutely, and I am also going to show those. Actually, I think that
Okay.
I'm going to share the pictures now. We have the AI copy, and here we have your pictures. Actually, I recognized immediately this because this was one of my favorite shoots of yours. So this
Thank
was
you.
very, very recognizable to me. I love this photo. Actually, I chose it as a cover for our interview. But like I have studied these images in detail, and like
Wow, you did.
yes, and like look at this. Like if you want proof that this is indeed a copy, like I'm not even going to look at the model here, which is obviously the same person, but like look at this window.
Yeah, it's the exact same.
Like this
Even
is exactly
the bottom of the window, like it's exactly the same.
this thing here, this decoration here that you have in this beautiful Parisian building, like this is exactly the same. For even the reflection here is exactly the same.
I don't know how this can be legal, right?
Yeah, I have no idea. But yes, because honestly, you have, like, at least in Italy, there are laws on plagiarism. And I believe that there are in everywhere in Europe, at least, for sure.
Yeah.
So if I did the same thing, like if I just took your picture and I just copied it with my camera, not with AI, but like with my camera, I would definitely be persecutable for plagiarism, for sure. So how is this not the same thing? I believe that
no
the
idea.
same laws should be applicable technically, because it's exactly the same thing. It's literally the
but
same thing.
that's why it's conversations that we need to have
Yeah.
right now as well with this whole AI thing, hoping that there will be things that will be implemented in the future to protect us,
Yeah.
to protect the model as well, because like in both cases, even like you can see that
Yes,
it's not
in this
it's
picture
AI generated, right? But
specifically, it's the
yeah.
same person. Like even the same highlights in the hair, let alone obviously the how do you call this? The chimney? Chimney in English?
The chimney.
Yeah, okay.
Chimney.
Okay, it's the same. The reflection is exactly the same. The things inside the
Look at
credenza.
in the mirror, the reflection in the mirror, the furniture is exactly the same.
It's
Even
exactly the
the
same.
lamp,
Yeah,
the
and
lamp as well.
like one could
It's the
argue
same.
that the brand, like this brand, just took the same model and the same location and did the same photo shoot, but it would make no sense. It would absolutely make no
and
sense.
it's really specific locations that I had to find myself, etc. Like it's not that easy to find this same location, right?
Yeah.
Wouldn't
It,
make any sense. I mean,
yeah.
it's not the case, of course, but someone could believe that. But
And in this picture too, like
yeah,
again, if I zoom in the mirror,
yes,
like this, I don't know if it was just a reflection on the mirror or if it is, I don't know, maybe it's a blur of some kind, but like this is the same.
oh
It's
yeah,
the same.
I hadn't noticed the blur.
I told you
Wow,
I have studied these
wow, you
pictures.
studied that, right? Yeah.
I
No,
really
me,
studied them.
like I noticed the side of the window is exactly the same
Yeah,
as well.
also that.
And
Yes.
like you can see those little metal
Yeah.
bars at the bottom, exactly the same pattern as well.
Yes. And also the same blurring, because on this one here you can see the joint of the like whatever
Yeah.
this is called. And here you cannot because it's blurred out, and here as well, exactly the same. Like the same, everything is exactly the same. Same everything. Like there is no other way to say this. It's just unbelievable. And when you were saying before that you have seen on their website, you had found other pictures that looked like things from other photographers, I think I have found something that it's at least icky. At least it has something that, I don't know. This is the picture that I found on their website. And already I strongly believe that this is AI, first of all, because there are a few things that make...
Yeah, it is.
No, it just looks like something is wrong. Just for people who are maybe not as used to watch images as we are, I would say that I would just point out what makes me believe that this is AI. And like these little lights, like this bokeh here, makes no sense. Like if either this is added in post-production, I believe, like regular Photoshop post-production, either this makes it clear that this is AI. Also, like there is this kind of rainfall that is here, but like, why would you have some rainfall just one side of the picture? Again,
And there is a kind of, like, I don't know how to explain this, a kind of light separation between the model and the background that is not
Sorry.
really...
No. The assistant is
The
not
cat.
assisting. Yes. No, Lizzie. Lizzie. Sorry, she's like
She's
she's
protesting.
destroying okay.
The assistant isn't paid enough. She's protesting.
She's
Give her a
underqualified.
raise, God. She's underqualified.
She got stuck into this and she just was bringing everything away with her because she got stuck in the cable.
Of course she did.
I have to fire her. After this, I definitely have to fire her. Okay, so we were saying about, this separation of lighting that you were talking about, sorry.
Yeah, like that. There is a separation between the model and the background that is weird to me. That is possible to do technically, but that is not really common. And like me, I usually recognize it through the model better. Like there is just something off, something unnatural. Like I don't know if it's in the expression. It's just it doesn't feel normal.
I also think that nails sometimes can be a giveaway.
Yeah.
Probably not in this case, but sometimes nails and fingers, especially when they are close to something else.
That's true.
Yeah. I mean, it could just be that this is photography, like maybe retouched with AI. I don't know. I don't want to assume anything.
That's possible as well. Yeah.
I mean, if somebody recognizes these pictures as theirs, they will just come out probably. And
But
tell
they
us that
do
this is
use
actually my
like
picture.
80% of AI pictures on their website. So like
So it would make sense. But like
chances are it is.
Yeah, and in this case, I feel like this is it's the same. This is a photographer from our group. I kind of feel like this is the same situation somehow.
It's harder to tell though.
It is. But I kind of have the same feeling. Also because
I agree with you.
And also like this was.
I know the photographer you're talking about. This was.
Yeah, and also this was a group shooting, so there were more than one photographer. So maybe they did not use exactly her pictures, but maybe somebody else's of the same group, like somebody else's pictures from the same shooting and the same occasion. I just cannot find the exact same pictures, but I believe that this is in the same realm. It kind of feels familiar in a way.
There is also a few photos with that are clear AI with a model that is quite famous that I recognized.
Okay.
And that I believe didn't give her approval as well.
Yeah,
for
of
this
course.
being used.
Of course. And also like this brings us to this problem of people's faces in AI pictures, especially in cases like this where it's quite obvious that that an entire likeness was taken and just copied entirely. And maybe people that don't work in this industry don't know this, but there are like many people can have rights on just one photo. And there is like it depends on the country that you're working in, obviously, but like usually it's the photographer who has the rights on the actual final product of the picture and the negatives, if there are negatives, or the raw files if it's digital. And then there is either the model, either the agency that the model is signed with, who has the right on the face that is in the picture. Sometimes the both of them, sometimes both the model and the agency. So there are many, and also the brand who paid for these pictures. I would
Indeed.
say, because this was a commercial work,
Yeah.
and so obviously if it's commercial, somebody needs to pay for that, and so they have some rights as well, or maybe all of the rights depending on the
Yeah,
contract that you
and
have with them.
like specifically for these specific pictures, it was two brand works with contracts that have been signed with usages rights that are limited in time as well. So it's like it makes it even worse, even maybe like again, I don't know about the laws and everything, but I find this even more stupid that they use this photo specifically because like I think even with the state of the law right now, I could give them some problems by going through the agencies that are usually like when a model is signed in an agency, they're usually more protected when it comes to rights. And
Yeah, actually, this is what
yeah,
I was thinking. How about like I think that this could go on as a class action or something like that, because there are more people involved in this. It's not just you, and it's not even just the model. It's a lot of people, and so maybe going all together in this, it can have more weight in this kind of situation. Even if you have to go like through legal ways, it's still better to be many people rather than just one, I believe. So I don't know if you have thought about something like this.
yeah, I have thought of that. I was waiting a bit to see if things can be resolved nicely. Also because I want to talk about it on my socials and then like see what can be done. But like that's why I feel like it's not a good like from the brand's perspective, I don't feel like it's a good move when
It's
you
not.
know what people think about the use of AI in this kind of context. Also with so many people involved, and like I don't want to to say that like we are not famous or anything, but we do have a lot of contacts in the industries. We all know model agencies, models, or the brands, or the photographers. But like just only bad reputation already can ruin a brand that is, and this brand specifically is quite small. They are just starting. They're actually growing a lot. Like in these last 2 weeks, they grew a lot by using all these pictures. But yeah, we can easily ruin their reputation. I think it was you who shared that on your Instagram a few weeks ago. The story of another well-known photographer
Yeah,
who
I think we
was
can
talking.
name her.
We can mention, yeah, Brady Mac. Yeah,
Yeah, she's
yeah,
kind of also she's so huge in our in the film community in
yeah.
general. I would say that
No,
if
she is
she's having
definitely.
problems,
And in the case of Brady Mac, the brand that she was talking about, this brand just did basically a couple of picture using AI for like some extra content. I went to see people's reactions. I believe that they had to delete it actually because they got so much shit for
oh,
it.
that's good.
Like people reacting in the comment, why are you doing that? You're hurting the industry and everything. And that was already quite a bigger brand. And what they did was like way less. That they did like it wasn't a copy of. I don't think it was a copy of another photographer's work like it happened to me. So if already a brand this size for like way less can get so much bad reputation on using a couple of AI generated pictures, I don't see how this brand can survive in the long run.
Yeah, also because let's face it, even though maybe they haven't specifically copied another photographer's entire picture, it's still generative. So it's still stuff that you can find online, like from other creatives, and maybe mash them all together. But at the end of the day, it's still stealing other people's images. It's not just inspiration. And also, another thing that I asked myself recently is, how do you, because you found out just by chance, basically. You pitched to somebody and they happen to copy your photos, and that's it.
Yeah, and by going through the website, I found
You found out,
so
exactly.
I could have not noticed it, really.
Exactly. So
There could be other brands like copying your work maybe right now that
exactly,
you
and I would
wouldn't know
have
about.
no idea. Also
Yeah.
because I feel like once you could just Google them, you could just put your picture, and I used to do that because sometimes stolen photos is not something that is born with AI. Is something that was obviously very much done on the internet in general, and since the dawn of time. So I used to just take my pictures, put them in Google image search, and then look for every single website that had my pictures on it, because if there were used if sorry, if they were used
Rewind.
if they were used in an improper manner, I could just tell the brand, or I could just sue them directly, or sometimes it was just easy to send them an email and they would just delete the picture and that's it. But right now Google image search has massively changed. You cannot search, it's really much more difficult to search for specific images, and now you can, like, if I put my image into the image search, nothing comes up, and those pictures are somewhere, because at the very least they are on my website.
That's strange, isn't it? Like, why?
Yes, it's again, I don't
Yeah. I see where you're going there.
again.
Yeah. You want to start a conspiracy theory podcast, like.
But yes, at the very least, again, it's weird how this goes hand in hand. Like this surgence of AI coming up and flooding the internet, and now the fact that you cannot actually look up for specific pictures online through Google search image, that is at the very least annoying. At the very least.
Yeah. And hello, cat. The assistant is back. She wants more work. Yeah. I feel like many brands are just using AI right now because it's becoming trendy, and they are not being very careful to what they are doing. Not careful, not mindful, and I think at some point it could have a bad effect. And like we were saying before, it arrives at a really convenient time for smaller brands, where they have less budget, they have more production costs. So it's just super easy to cut your photography costs, just use AI. And but yeah, like there has to be consequences at some point. Like it can't continue like that. Yeah, maybe I'm just being too positive for us, but there would be some laws and everything implemented, and again, public opinion can do strong work these days with social media and everything.
Big platforms are not talking about this enough at all.
No.
Like many of them are actually using AI instead of actual art from actual people.
Exactly.
Like I feel like they're just hiding behind the idea of, but it's still an artist that has to do this. But they hide behind that. I believe that Vogue has published so many AI pictures right now on Photo Vogue as well. They have it in competitions as well right now. Because you have to be an artist as well to do a good, which is like, it's bullshit. Come on, like that is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I also feel like that this is so typical of the fashion world, to pretend that everything is just fine, because I have a feeling like it's a very uncontroversial business, meaning that it is very controversial actually. It has done many things in the past that are just bad. But they pretend that everything is fine, everything is perfect, like trying to be as apolitical as possible, trying to be as nothing is so bad that it cannot be fixed, basically. Everything is superficial. This is the feeling that I have about it, and it drives me crazy because it's so not fashion. It has never been apolitical. Even the specific designers sometimes have been very strongly vocal and about political issues. It's just fashion as a system, I believe, that works very, very poorly in this matter.
No, I agree 100%. And here you're talking about fashion specifically, but photography as well in general. Like it's still considered as it is an art. Like even if we do a lot of commercial work, we also it is an art, and art is deeply political. And I think many people tend to forget about it. And it's just so easy to not speak up for anything. And just, I mean, I understand that it can be scary as well in an industry where everybody wants to stay apolitical, that maybe if you're being a little bit too political, you can be worried to not be hired for certain jobs. But that's the whole essence of the problem. I was thinking actually this morning I was thinking the same about, I was looking at my work, like it's nowhere near uh, who I am as a person and what I want to create. Because I don't know about you, but like I feel like me this past couple years, I've been shooting only for commercial purpose, meaning creating work for my portfolio to be hired by brands, by clients, because well, like we need to make a living out of that. But I put aside a little bit my own creative projects and what I really want to do. And like yeah, I'm not satisfied uh, with how my work is looking right now. I don't feel like it's representative of what I want to do. And like I hope I'm not being hypocritical right now to like point out the lack of engagement and political behind photography and art. Meanwhile, not really doing it myself.
I think that, especially being a very small creator like we are, it's difficult to actually make everyday political choices, even in your work, because I strive to do them in my personal life. When it comes to work, at the end of the day, you have to earn some money. You have to earn your salary at the end of the month.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
unfortunately, not all of us are in the position to actually choose who we want to work with.
Oh, it is privileged to be able to, to choose consciously everything that you do and every client that you want or not want to work for.
Yeah.
No, same for me. Like,
Honestly, I would not hold that against anybody, because
no.
it's kind of like when you buy from Shein, for example. The problem is not the person who can barely afford food at the end of the month, who sometimes buys, I don't know, one shirt from Shein. That is not the problem. The problem is
No,
people who
definitely.
actually can afford many, many more clothes than that, and that just buy a
And
shit
that's
ton of it.
still, yeah.
That's the problem.
Maybe one day we'll be lucky enough to have a good base of clients that we like and that we'll be able to choose exactly who we want to work for. What we can do is try to also work at the same time some more personal projects that have more meaning to us. Like when we talk about something being political, it doesn't have to be like a big stand against something obvious. It can be little things. Being more inclusive in your work already is one of them. Giving representation to people who don't have a lot of representation. It can be nice concepts, talking about things that are important to you. It can be a lot of little things, and it's already great to do that. Yeah. So me, I was thinking that this talk about inclusivity, about diversity, especially in modeling industry and brands' image, who they want to show, who they want to give representation to. I was feeling last year that it was in progress, that it was changing. I think we also, even in high fashions, right? Like we saw big high fashion brands being more inclusive on their catwalks. And also from a commercial point of view, many brands having more representations. But now in 2026, I feel like we are back to what the standards were. And it goes hand in hand with the whole diet culture and gem culture that is really strong these days.
Absolutely.
And yeah, here we were talking about women, but it applies to male models as well.
I don't think that this is new. I don't think that we are going back to these issues. I think that they never went away. because since we were talking about the fact that fashion tries to be a very uncontroversial business, obviously, if the entire society is culturally shifting towards a specific direction, which is more inclusivity, fashion being the non-controversial business that it is going to embrace that, obviously. But I think it was always a pretend way, and it was very much on the superficial level, but inside it has always worked like that. I don't think it ever changed. I think it was always like that. Now they are just embracing much more what was the ideal in the Y2K, because we had that same type of societal situation, a more conservative one, a more right-winged, albeit not as far right as we are now, I argue. But still, I think it goes in that same direction.
And what you mean is that this facade was like kind of used as marketing point, basically.
Yeah.
Just
this is
using inclusivity as a marketing tool.
Yes.
At least the
inclusivity for how it was made. I felt like it was, but I always felt that. I always thought it was extremely performative. I feel like right now it's much more organic, and it's much more truthful, that because it's still a big industry at the end of the day. Many people are profiting off of this industry. There are many billionaires in this industry. The owner of Louis Vuitton is just the seventh richest person on earth.
Yeah, he's in top 10.
Yeah, so I feel that is the way that the fashion world has always worked, the establishment, basically.
Yeah, and it goes hand in hand with how the world is going right now. And yeah, I mean, at least for this industry specifically, I'm not really hopeful for the months and years to come. It's nice to talk about it. We don't talk enough, and never will talk enough about those things. And so it's nice to have a space like yours to do so.
What has become of content creation, since we are both content creators?
Oh, like now we are everything. We're influencers. We are like you want to go photography business. You need to be everything.
Yes, you need to be a front man or a front woman. You need to be an assistant. You need to be an art director. You literally have to be everything. Yes, yeah. That's the ugly truth that nobody tells you when you are opening your business. You think you're going to do photography, but at the end of the day, oh boy.
If you do everything, photography is like 20% of my job. Let's be real.
20? You're
the 20
lucky.
Is even too much.
But yes, so at the end of the day, we end up being, I would say a broader term could be content creators. But that has led me to think exactly of what type of content we actually put out, because it's not necessarily photography. And so I asked myself, what are we selling at the end of the day? And I feel like there are many people in our business that are no longer selling photography at all.
I see where you're going with this.
But yes, and there are many people who are just selling mentoring courses, and I feel like they are. It's a way to sell. They're selling a way to sell the product, not really the product, the final product itself. It's content creation. It's kind of becoming a little bit, I wouldn't say, I would say also a pyramid scheme, to be honest. It's kind of like, it feeds off itself instead of actually selling something valuable. And, but it is also true that we all needed to start somewhere. We all learned from somebody. And so I was wondering, where do you draw the line between teaching an actual skill and just profiting off your followers?
Well, already, like we mentioned before, you and I did the same photography program, which was a mentoring photography program. And I think that we both benefited a lot from it, even if maybe there are some flaws here and there. But honestly, without that, I would never be where I am today. So it is nice and useful, especially because it's an industry where it's hard to get information. People are really secretive. And but that's also the downside of this whole mentoring thing is the monetization of knowledge, maybe, that many people don't want to share anything they know without selling it. And I think this is where we need to draw a line. Not every source of knowledge should be monetized. It's nice to have someone mentoring you, accompany you. That this someone, of course, takes time to help you to create an educational program or anything. So it's normal that this person is paid for it. But what happens, I feel like these days, it's that, yeah, like you were saying before, some like photographers or content creators like are not even shooting anymore. They are making their whole income through this. What could be interesting at some point is maybe to have some feedback from people who are doing mentoring programs these days, and like how they feel about it, because there are, I mean, yeah, we both know that there are some programs that are insanely expensive out there and that don't bring the value that they should bring. But not everything should be monetized.
It's true what you say when you say that not everything needs to be monetized, because some things you're just giving freely to the people that you care about because they are your students. And I've had so many teachers actually giving me so many opportunities and so many ideas and so many insights for free. Specifically probably because of that. And you're right. And I had never thought about it, but yes, they were never profiting off me. They were just, rightfully asking money for a knowledge that they have and that they were sharing with me. But they also gave me so many things for free, literally.
Yeah, and I mean, like to grow in this industry, connection is important as well. You can't just, I mean, I know that society like tends more and more towards individualism, right? But I mean, a lot of the opportunities I had today were through like making friends like you in the industry, sharing like what we learn, what we know, and learning and creating. And that also brings opportunity, and we need to not forget that, basically. And I think some people are forgetting it.
Okay, so well, thank you so much, Gaëtan, for being here and for sharing your point of view on photography and on the fashion business. And well, I hope to see you again on this platform maybe in the future with updates on your AI situation.
Yeah, damn, like I hope to have updates soon. I will have updates soon, but thank you for having me, and like good luck with this whole project you're starting, this whole podcast project, and like talking about things again that are really much needed and that not enough people talked about. So I'm really looking forward to hear about what you have to say, about to see your other guests. And yeah, I think that's it.
Okay. Well, thank you so much again. And bye.
And we'll see you next time.
If you reached this point, thank you so much for watching. And if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to follow on YouTube and Instagram. For more insights into the fashion business, head over to my Substack. You can find all of the links in the description box. Have a lovely day. See you soon. Bye.